Hey NACURH, my name is Taylor and I am bidding for AD-NRHH for the 2015-2016 affiliation year. So a little bit about me first off. I am now a senior at the University of Central Florida majoring in psychology. However, I will pursue a master's degree in higher education so I can continue to make a difference in student leadership across NACURH. Some more fun facts about me. I'm actually from Buffalo, New York, hence why the Peace Bridge is in my presentation and my bid, because I strongly believe in me embracing my roots and going back to my roots. So my roots are in Buffalo, as well as my roots for student leadership are in NRHH. And last but not least, Dog the Pug is my spirit animal. Look him up on Facebook. He will brighten your day. So helpful resources, which you saw in my bid, I have access to the RHA and NRHH office, as well as my own personal laptop, iPhone, and you all will be able to contact me through phone, email, and Skype. Time commitments. My time commitments this past year will be the same this upcoming year if elected. So 12 to 15 hours for my academics. I'm also lead office assistant on campus, so the minimum amount of hours I have are 25, and then the maximum is 32. And then I used 2 hours last year for NRHH as a member, and those 2 hours this year will be dedicated towards NRHH and RHA on my campus. And then last year I used 15 to 20 hours as RHA director. This year, if elected as AD-NRHH, those 15 to 20 hours will be towards NACURH, and then I also put in my time commitments for summer. This summer I will be a conference assistant, which is 15 hours a week. So my experience, these past 2 years I have served as the RHA director. During my first year as RHA director, I was also the vice president of documentation for NRHH. And during my second year as RHA director, I was fortunate enough to sit on the NRHH executive board and help them with whatever they need, whether it be induction, recruiting new members, just brainstorming new ideas, as well as kind of serving as advisor to them. And then I've also served as the NRHH rep and NCC for various conferences. So how does all this experience play into my role potentially as AD-NRHH? Well, I have experience chairing a boardroom from being an RHA director. The Roberts rules that we use here on campus are the same Roberts rules that we use in the state, regional, and NACURH boardrooms. I have experience being a representative and using Parley Pro, both on the chairing side and the representative side, so we'll be able to not only sympathize with representatives, but also be able to empathize with them. I have experience with revising constitutions and policy books. I rewrote the entire RHA UCF Constitution, as well as wrote various legislations for that with the help of some other people. I also reformatted our entire NRHH Constitution when I was the Vice President of Documentation. And last but not least, I have experience with reviewing and interpreting constitutions and policy books through my experience as an NRHH rep and NCC in preparation for various conferences. Conference experience. I have been to 9 conferences and soon to be 10, and those are all of them. And at all these conferences, I either served as a representative or I sat in boardroom with my NCC and helped them with whatever they need. Committees. I have served on the NACURH OTM Selection Committee, as well as the NACURH Bid Instruction and Development Committee, as well as the NACURH Services and Resources Committee. And in the NACURH Services and Resources Committee, I served as the Retention Subcommittee Chair and created these resources, which will hopefully be available to you all soon. Preparation for AD-NRHH. I first off spoke with our current AD-NRHH, Kaylee Van Zyl, and she provided me with this amazing, flawless transition guide, and so I read it thoroughly and marked down anything I had questions about, and then we went into a one-on-one. I asked her all my questions, as well as shared my goals with her. She made all sorts of comments on the Google Doc, which I used in the finishing of my bid, as well as I will use next year if elected. And then we also discussed what traditions to continue within NRHH. And then I also spoke with our regional director-elect, Meg Freeman, and I shared my goals with her and see how they played into NACURH. She also made a lot of very insightful comments. And we also discussed the importance of building the bridge, because as you can see, building the bridge is my main thing coming into bidding for AD-NRHH. And it requires the effort of both the NRHH side and the RHA side, so I wanted to make sure that we were on the same page. And then time commitments, I decreased my time commitments for the summer. I'm only working 15 hours at conferences as a conference assistant, and this is so I can try to set a stable foundation for the year ahead. Goals. First one is building the bridge between NRHH and RHA. So this past year at UCF, we have tried really hard to increase the collaboration between NRHH and RHA, and it's been very successful. We hope to continue it, and it has helped not only in the development of our organizations, but also our student leaders. So I hope to use my personal experience and create resources for you all to encourage the collaboration between the two organizations, as well as help spark and brainstorm ideas for you all. So next up, I want to create and provide accessible resources. Starting off with a public Google Drive, you all should have access to all the resources that you need, including meeting minutes, governing documents, etc. Also creating a chapter information database. This will have your chapter name, establishment date, as well as all the emails associated with the chapter, so other chapters are not only able to contact you, but also we as the SEC will be able to contact you as well. Also NRHH resources, whether it be induction scripts, ways to recruit new members, program initiatives, etc. And also OTM multimedia. While serving on the NACURH OTM selection committee, I reviewed a lot of great OTMs, but I also reviewed some OTMs that need some work. And I think you all, if you all have the resources for OTMs, that would be very beneficial to y'all. And I love guides, I'm very passionate about guides. However, I believe that millennials are more likely to look towards a video for help because they are effective, easy, and it doesn't require them sitting and reading a guide for hours. I also want to increase recognition through new initiatives. Something that I'm very passionate about is an idea that I came up with, which is 21 days of recognition. And so this stems from that fact that's floating around the internet that you can form a habit within 21 days. So this 21-day challenge is essentially members across NACURH, not just NRHH, will upload a photo to Instagram or a video showing a way that they recognize someone within that challenge. And so this spreads awareness of recognition ideas as well as forms that habit throughout our region. I also want to continue and initiate new recognition initiatives in NRHH, NCC, and combined boardroom. I want to continue top 10 lists, diamonds in the rough, as well as something that Kaylee started at our last conference, which is notes for NCCs. I want to initiate a recognition stuffed animal, which is essentially when we reach certain points on our agenda, we pass it around to continue to motivate people and inspire people to keep doing the amazing things that they do in boardroom, as well as do notes for NRHH reps in NCC boardroom, of course with the approval of our director Meg, because hashtag build the bridge is through recognition that we continue to motivate each other as well as encourage each other to excel in whatever we do. As well as I want to initiate diamond duos, which is pairing NRHH reps up with each other so they have sort of a buddy system in boardroom. Last but not least, I want to increase transparency and visibility to NRHH chapters. If elected, I will have 5 office hours per week where chapters will be able to contact me during then. I will always be email accessible 24/7. I have a 48-hour response policy. Chapters will also be able, I request, to have one-on-ones with me because I want to increase that communication as well as help you all troubleshoot any problems you may have and set goals for your chapter. And last but not least, Skyping into NRHH meetings. I want to increase that regional presence within your chapter because I know personally, coming from a past RHA director, it's helpful to have that regional presence so members are able to connect to that region. And if Skype is not an option, a video can be made so you all can play it at your meetings or just send it out to members. That's it. Thank you so much for your time, and as always, diamond love.